Welcome back, guys, to Trails of Cold Steel, where last episode the midterm exams fell upon Class 7 as they studied in groups, with Rean looking for any way to improve his academic performance. 4 days of tests then began. As feeling confident about our answers, we now move to another free day. We did spend a good hour, a whole episode, studying, so I'm confident I may have aced that exam. I mean, the questions come to the... I'd say the art one, possibly. The sketch should be right. We did take our time.
Now that the exams are over, I feel free as a bird. And I'll keep on soaring, at least until the results come back.
I sympathize, but personally, I've got a good feeling about these. How about you, Emma? How do you think you did?
Well, I don't think I did too badly, all things considered.
Just stop before you embarrass yourself.
We'll just have to wait and see what next week's results look like.
I'm excited.
Anyway, what do you think that was all about with Instructor Sarah?
Oh, you mean that whole thing about going out of town to meet someone? Going out of town? Won't be back until tomorrow night? It's almost as if...
She's going to meet her secret lover?
Impossible. The Empire hasn't yet turned out a man desperate enough to woo that alcoholic typhoon.
You have a point. I can't deny she's got the looks to snare a man, but that personality and that lifestyle...
You guys are terrible. Totally agreed, though.
Harsh!
Ouch. Not surprised to hear that from you, though, Rean. She always seems to dump the most work on you.
Will you be helping the student council again tomorrow?
That's the plan. Heck, I'm almost looking forward to being the student council's errand boy after holding up studying for so long.
Perhaps so.
Oh, please let us know if you plan on exploring the old schoolhouse.
Yeah, I'd be glad to lend a hand this time.
Thanks. Better watch out, though. I might take you up on that offer.
Ooh, looks like we're all up for a little exploration this time. Come to think of it, where did Gaius run off to? He mentioned the principal wanted to have a word with him. You think he went there?
Oh, yeah. Wonder what that was about.
I hope he hasn't gotten into trouble. I mean, I doubt he would.
I have no idea. Thea and Laura left early, too. I was kind of hoping we could all walk back to the dorm together for once. That sounds nice.
Hey, so this might just be my imagination, but do those two seem kind of awkward around each other to anyone else?
Really?
So you think so, too? It seems like it started around the beginning of the month. I wonder if something happened then. It's like they've been avoiding each other ever since.
You say that, but I did not take either as the type to dwell on petty issues or misunderstandings.
Neither did I. We've been trying to suss out what the problem between them is, but so far, no luck.
I wonder if that's what that was all about.
Did you see something, Machias?
What happened?
Well, do you remember the day we gave our group reports on what happened during last month's field study? We gave a truthful account, including the part where Fee used an explosive to blast open the door to my cell.
Yeah?
That's when we found out that Fee used to be in a Jaeger Corps. That really threw me for a loop, but what does that have to do with Laura?
Well, when that came up, I couldn't help but notice Laura had a rather unpleasant expression. It flashed across her face for only a moment, though, so I wondered if I had just imagined it.
Interesting.
But even if we assume that's true, what reason would she have to be upset?
I can hardly hazard a guess.
We all have certain things we'd rather keep to ourselves. We even have a member of this very class who remains tight-lipped about her own family, after all.
Do you really have to drag me into this?
My apologies. I meant no offense. I do have my suspicions as to your lineage, however.
Really?
Ugh, you.
Now, getting angry won't accomplish anything.
Don't worry, we're not gonna twist your arm into telling us. When you're ready to talk about it, we'll be ready to listen.
It's not like I'm trying to make a big deal out of it or anything. It's just, if everyone knew, it'd make things awkward between us, and I don't want that. Welcome back, my lady. Huh? What? Sharon? It's so delightful to see you again.
Oh hey, it's that maid I ran into the other day.
You know her?
What are you doing here? She didn't. Mother didn't. But of course, I was sent here at the behest of the chairman herself. Starting today, I will be assuming the position of caretaker for Class 7's dormitory. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, everyone. My name is Sharon Krueger. I am a servant in the employ of the Reinford household, Lady Alisa's family. I will do all I can to be of service to you, so please keep me informed of anything you might need.
And so, Chapter 3, Beyond the Railways, begins. As Class 7 get our very own maid. At least we won't have to tidy anymore, right? I guess. With exams still to come, it seems that now we might have solved some relationship drama, or pretty much all the relationship drama we managed to solve. New relationship drama has appeared between Laura and Fee. How's this gonna go? What happened between them? Or what more the point happened to Laura in concern of Jaegers is what I'd imagine. Let's begin. And so we go on Sunday, a free day. More tasks, more quests. And we've still got 2 books to read. We've got the paper and we've got Red Moon Rose.
Whoa!
Simply spectacular. Just how many different types of food are there here?
This looks more than edible.
I believe this is what they call an imperial breakfast? That's right, Emma. It's a traditional Erebonian style of breakfast. I must apologize. It's taken me some time to familiarize myself with this kitchen, so my cooking has been a bit lackluster.
Come now, Sharon. Your skill is something to be praised. This is far more colorful and varied than the breakfast served in my own home.
I would compare this spread favorably with the breakfast served in the Duke's household.
I'm honored that you think so. I've also brewed both tea and coffee if anyone would like some.
I get the feeling Alisa is less than impressed with the meal.
It sounds like they had a big argument yesterday.
Not a chance! I thought I'd finally gotten away from her. I'm not going to let her have her way this time. My lady, please. I truly don't believe the chairman sent me to keep an eye on you like that. She simply sent me so that her beloved daughter might have fewer inconveniences in her daily life. I can take perfectly good care of myself, thank you very much. Oh, fine! I'll take this up with her myself then. Is she in the office at corporate today, or is she out on inspection or something? I believe she'll be dining with the Ministry of Railways president in the capital today. After that, she'll be continuing her inspection tour, so she won't be back in Ruhr for another 5 days. Does she ever slow down? I'm surprised she doesn't burn through a pair of shoes a week. Anyway, I'm not going to take this lying down. She's stuck her nose into things one too many times.
can't believe that R actually stood for Alisa Reinford. And from the sound of it, her mother's the company chairman too.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that Alisa's mom is basically in charge of the continent's biggest industrial company. Her family's probably got more money than most of the aristocracy. I can see why she'd want to keep her family under wraps, what with all the nobles here.
Anyway, I object to everything about this. Considering how busy Mother is, I'm sure she needs your assistance far more than I do.
I knew it. You're really concerned about her, aren't you? The way you two care so much for each other deep down is one of the reasons I'm so proud to serve you.
That's preposterous.
Oh, my lady, I almost forgot to mention that I made plenty of your favorite apricot jam. Would you like me to spread some on your toast?
Ooh, really? I mean, stop treating me like a child. Though yes, I would like some jam.
It's almost heartwarming to watch.
Looks like Sharon's got her number.
After beginning the day with Sharon's peerless breakfast, the members of Class 7 left to go about their daily routine. Meanwhile, Rean went to check the tasks the student council had given him for the day. I like how that ends up being the reveal as well. We just get a maid and then everyone's just like, oh, now we twig. It's like, come on! I think it's obvious from, of course, like, second one where we met her, but still. Right, 3 things! Old Schoolhouse Mystery 3, which is the required one, the one we'll do last. Which means, of course, we're putting off the combat for as long as possible. This month, I would like the members of Class 7 to commit themselves to their noble academic pursuits. Though I know, studious as you all are, I can expect that anyway, so on top of that, I'd like you to continue your exploration of the old schoolhouse and report your findings to me. Our battle is over there. Born to be Orbital. We're testing the orbital bike's capabilities on a highway near Trista. If you're curious, come talk to us in the engineering building. You mean I can ride a bike? That sounds like a good way to get myself maimed without knowing what to do. And the secret admirer, Vincent! I'm in need of aid. Some fair maiden has sent me several messages proclaiming a love for me, and who could blame her? I simply must know who she is, so would some kind soul help me find her and bring her to me? More details behind the storage building. Vincent Floral, Year 2, Class 1. Hey, a request from George and Angelica. It's about the orbital bike too. Wonder what they need my help with. Looks like I have to swing by the engineering club before I head to the old schoolhouse. Well, it's the first sun I've seen in days, so I might as well make the most of it. Alright, let's do this. Everyone's seeing lots of sun behind me at the moment, though. The glare is back. It's so sunny today. I'd have probably, if I didn't stream, I would have spent the entire weekend out in the garden, to be fair. Right, has anyone here? Actually, the easiest way to check, of course, is to do that. And we know our teacher ain't here. But, interestingly, she still leaves the room completely unlocked. And for anyone to be able to steal the bottles of alcohol. Responsible adult. Responsible adults. Right, where is everyone? We got 2 bonding points as well. We can bond with Laura. We can bond with Phoebe, both of which are of interest right now. Crow is at Mitch's shop. I'll say it that way from now on, rather than try to mispronounce that completely. The old school house where one quest is. Macius is the other person, or is it Emma? I'm guessing it's Macius, not Emma. Both of them are there, and Eustace also has some stuff to do too. Oh, well, everyone's got bonding. Well, lots of choices. Toa, Elliot, Alisa. That's a lot to do. Even though your cam is small, it's glaring me from the corner. It's that strong. Mr. Sun from England just wishes to treat you all with some vitamin D. If computer screens could work that way. And so we're out in Trista once more to explore. Meanwhile, however, considering... Oh, we've got 3 bonding points. Don't I normally only have 2? And then 1 in the afternoon. I got 3. Okay, I've got an extra one. Nice. Why do we have to choose? I just noticed that. It's been a couple of hours since we've obtained a certain book, a certain manuscript. So I think at this point in time, I should probably get to reading it. Red Moon Rose, Chapter 5. And then we've got the paper as well. So it's probably good for me to get this out of the way before we start exploring the town once more. How do I get to my notes page again? There we go. Let's finally read the next chapter. Oh my goodness. Is this the biggest one so far? No, it's the second biggest. 28 pages of a vampire story in the blazing sun behind me. Are you ready? Put a cap on or something, the sun rays reflecting off your forehead. No, don't worry. Anyway, right. 28 pages of vampire stories. Let's get reading. Chapter 5. Farewell. So this is the culprit behind the vampire murders, you say? Gerard peered at the sketch, brows drawn down. The morning after Alphonse and Rose had fought the vampire, he had made sure to report that fact to Gerard. The sketch Gerard was studying had been outlined based on Alphonse's testimony. It depicted a figure dressed all in black with the upper face obscured. The portrait showed everything Alphonse could recall of the vampire's distinguishing features, and he hoped that it would be helpful to the army's investigations. Naturally, he left out how the suspect was actually a vampire and capable of turning himself into smoke. Black smoke on a whim. And was actually a vampire and capable of turning... Sorry, I figured that sentence was weird and just not me. Okay, there's a word missing there. I got completely stuck. Completely stuck with that sentence. That sentence is wrong, right? I'm not just... That's grammatically incorrect. It's not just me. It's judicious, Subscription, and Blackstorm 2. Right, let's try this sentence again, shall we? Naturally, he had left out how the suspect was actually a vampire, and it was also capable of turning itself into black smoke on a whim. Having his commanding officer think him crazy would help no one. The purpose of the sketch was simply to help people watch out for the culprit, not to try and convince them of its true nature, after all. He did wish he could tell them the complete truth, if only to better prepare them for a potential encounter against the monster and help them more effectively hunt it, but he knew better than anyone that no ordinary human would be able to stand up to it. He had learned that much firsthand the previous night. Trying to fight the vampire would only lead to unnecessary fatalities, and organising large teams to try and exterminate it could even lead to it hiding itself away, or worse, fleeing the capital and going elsewhere. As such, the best chance to defeat it, once and for all, seemed to lie with Rose. Gerard straightened and fixed Alphonse with a concerned eye. Anyway, Al, I'm just glad that you and Luca are both alright. Then he let out a released sigh, as if that genuinely was the most important thing to him. The description of the portrait of the black-clad man would be used to encourage people to be more vigilant and watch out for the culprit. If the number of people going out at night were to decrease, the number of murders would likely decrease too. Gerard tried to convince Alphonse to rest for the day, not least because he had been injured the previous night, but Alphonse had no intention of listening. He and Rose had already decided to meet up and investigate further. He insisted. Gerard's brows descended once again at that. His parting words as Alphonse left his office were simply, just don't do anything to put yourself in unnecessary danger, alright? While he was usually strict as a superior, it was obvious that he genuinely cared for him like a real son. A fact that Alphonse couldn't possibly be any more grateful for. Feeling newly motivated, he quietly muttered to himself, I will stop these murders, as he walked towards the exit of the guardhouse. Just before he could set off for his meeting with Rose, however, he encountered his fellow soldier, Elroy. The other man looked as glum as ever. Judging by his appearance, he had just finished the morning's training. Beads of sweat ran down his face, and his hair was matted to his forehead. Despite this, he didn't seem the slightest out of breath. Elroy had always been that way. Though he had never seemed to train more than Alphonse and the other team members, he always seemed significantly stronger and more capable than any of them. He was well aware of this fact too, and seemed to have developed a sense of superiority because of it. Looking down his nose at the others was Elroy's signature move. Today seemed no different. He turned to Alphonse with a mocking smile on his face. So you ran into the culprit behind those so-called vampire murders, did you? Yeah, I did. Elroy gave a contemptuous snort. Well, you're useless then, aren't you? Why didn't you catch him? This would have been all over if you had. As usual, Elroy wasted no time in trying to pick a fight with Alphonse, but this time he had no comeback. Elroy was right. If he hadn't been so weak, he would have been able to defeat the vampire and stop the murders the previous night. Seeing Alphonse's reaction to his provocation, Elroy folded his arms triumphantly. The commander might favour you, but I think it's about time you stopped letting that get to your head and learned your place. Alphonse was about to retort when he noticed something. Elroy's left arm was wrapped tightly in several layers of bandages. What happened to your arm? Alphonse pointed to the bandages with his finger, and for a brief moment, Elroy seemed unsure how to respond. That? It's nothing really, I just heard it in training earlier. Spots of blood peeked through the bandages, making it clear that it was a recent injury, at the very least. Alphonse looked at the damage with concern. This is why I can't stand you. Apparently thrown off by his teammates' worry, Elroy gave an audible tut before walking away, leaving a slightly embarrassed Alphonse behind. While they were hardly on the best terms, Alphonse didn't bear any particular grudge against Elroy. It was clear that the same couldn't be said for the other man, but Alphonse had no idea what he had against him. Letting out a sigh, he returned his thoughts to the investigation at hand. Now wasn't the time to be thinking about Elroy. He had to focus. With a shake of the head, he opened the guardhouse door and set out to meet Rose. They decided to continue their search where they left off, so it was at the scene of the 4th murder that Alphonse met Rose. Despite scouring the area as thoroughly as they could, however, they found nothing that would help them identify the criminal. Eventually, Rose stopped to think for a while before proposing they make their way to the street where they encountered the vampire the previous night and search the scene there. Alphonse agreed. It seemed like a completely different place during the day. The still quiet that had marked the night had been replaced with cheerful chatter and the bustling of people examining the wares at the street stalls. Since the murders were known to happen at night, people seemed happy to go about their ordinary lives during the day without a worry in the world. Taking care to avoid standing out too much, they walked side by side around the street looking for potential leads. It's hard to believe that we fought a vampire here last night. Rose's lips curled up slightly. Most would find it difficult enough to believe that vampires exist to begin with. I suppose that makes the existence of people like me who live to hunt those vampires more unbelievable still. Was that meant as a joke? Alphonse wondered. Unsure how to respond, he elected to remain silent. Unfazed, Rose said about analysing the previous night's events. The scent given off by that vampire was the same as the one I sensed from all of the victims. At the very least, it seems beyond a doubt that the vampire is the killer we've been searching for. His scent? Alphonse asked, before recalling that Rose had mentioned something similar earlier when they were trying to pursue the vampire the previous night. So we follow that scent, we can find out who the vampire is. Rose shook her head. I'm afraid not. As I said before, vampires are only capable of using their powers at night. During the day, they're no different than ordinary humans, and accordingly, the scent that gives them away as being a vampire vanishes as well. They both knew that ideally, the best way to defeat the vampire would be to strike during the day while it was unable to activate its powers, but without any clues as to the vampire's identity, they didn't have any chance of doing so. Realizing anew just how difficult the work of a vampire hunter must be, Alphonse admired Rose all the more for being able to cope with it. Nonetheless, we made contact with the vampire yesterday, and I believe that's a big step forward for this investigation. After all, the more fierce the battle, the greater the chance that one of the participants may leave behind some incriminating evidence. There's always the possibility that she may have seen something too. Alphonse assumed that she was referring to Luca. He made to reply, but Rose was no longer alongside him. Turning around, he realised that she had stopped in a tracking distance behind. Her face was as expressionless as ever, but her eyes were cast downwards, almost as if she was regretting something. What's wrong? It's nothing, she said briefly and moved on. We should continue our search. They set about combing the street for any remnants of their battle. At one point, Rose suggested they split up to cover a wider area, but even after doing so and reconvening to discuss their findings, or lack thereof, they found themselves no closer to pinpointing the vampire's true identity than they were the previous day. The hour had grown late and the sun was beginning its slow descent in the sky. The warm glow of its fading rays deepened the red hue of the bricks even as the shadows cast by their sturdy walls lengthened. Alphonse ground his teeth in frustration. All this searching and not a single result. Damn it. Rose had said that the vampire's power had been increasing over time. The previous night's battle had shown that she was capable of competing with it for now, and it was that fact that had allowed them to save Luca. There was no guarantee that would always be the case if it continued to claim more victims and grow stronger. Seeing Alphonse's vexation over the lack of progress, Rose spoke. Nothing will come from being too hasty. We each have our tasks. All we need to do is complete them. He nodded, knowing full well that she was right, but it was hard not to feel bitter about their lack of headway all the same. As he needed to go and report the results of the day's investigation to Gerard, they agreed to part ways for the time being. Alphonse proposed they meet again at the tavern like they had the previous day, but Rose refused his offer. I'm afraid I have business I must attend to with the church. Okay, I was really hoping we'd be able to patrol and keep an eye out for the vampire again though, since you're the only one who can sense its presence. Considering what happened the previous night and the increasing occurrence of the murders, remaining vigilant for the vampire was of the utmost priority, or at least that was Alphonse's thought on the matter. Rose didn't react to the disappointment in his trailing words. Instead, she merely replied that she'd watch out for it alone before excusing herself with a solemn farewell. There was a pause in which it seemed as if she wanted to say something else, but then she curtsied deeply and disappeared from sight. Alphonse watched her go with an uneasy feeling in his gut. Something seemed off about her behaviour. Unable to work out what it was, however, he was left with no choice but to watch her walk away into the distance. That night, Alphonse made his way to the tavern after giving his report to Gerard. Rose may have refused as often to meet there, but he still wanted to look in on Luca after what had happened to her the previous day. Oh, hello, Alfie! Luca was quick to spot him, and she showed him to a seat at the empty counter. After squaring his earlier bill from the dinner with Rose with the tavern owner, Luca excitedly came over to take his order. Seeing her smile and chatter as energetically as ever, Alphonse felt relieved. He had been expecting and fearing a more subdued demeanour from her. Watching her, he couldn't help but think how close she'd come to losing her life, and for a pathetic reason like feeding a vampire. Just the thought made his blood boil. Alfie, are you okay? Her nervous question made him realise that his anger must be showing in his expression. He quickly put on an awkward smile and set about eating to avoid having to explain anything. After a few bites, he felt himself calming down and gave her a more genuine smile. I'm fine, honestly, but never mind me. You haven't managed to recall anything about what happened last night, have you? She shook her head. Sorry, I wish I could, but I can't remember a thing. He hadn't really expected her to, but he was still slightly disappointed to not be able to gather any new information. Rose had speculated that the shock of seeing the vampire had caused her to subconsciously block out any memory of what had happened. As such, it didn't seem particularly likely that she would be able to help them find out the identity of the vampire either. He sighed. Luca, meanwhile, was desperately trying to remember something, anything that would allow her to be of service to him. After mulling over it for a time, she suddenly let out an "ah" sound. It doesn't directly relate to that happened yesterday, but that person you know was here earlier, on her own too. Alphonse was momentarily puzzled. Who do you mean? You know, Luca prompted with a swish of her hair. The girl you were with yesterday. It suddenly dawned on him who Luca was referring to, but Rose had specifically told him that she wouldn't be coming to the tavern today because she had business with the church. A troubled feeling began to build in the pit of his stomach. Anyway, she just came and asked me a few things about yesterday. I couldn't remember anything when she asked either, but eventually she seemed satisfied and then just said, farewell, and left. Farewell. The moment Alphonse heard those words, it dawned on him. Every time he parted ways with Rose, she always left with a farewell for now. But not today, when they separated earlier, she had instead simply said, farewell. He had thought something seemed off about her at the time, and it was then that he realised that was the reason. After that, she must have come to the tavern where she was able to discover something from Luca. But if that were the case, what would she try to do next? Alphonse fairly jumped out of his seat, half of the food still left on his plate, and dumped enough mirror to pay for the meal hurriedly onto the table. Ow! Luca googled at him. Or goggled at him, even. Just keep the change! It was a second feeling of great foreboding in 2 days, and the first had been downright deadly. He rushed out the tavern as fast as his legs would carry him onto the streets of Heimdall. The sun had long since set, and the deeply shadowed streets welcomed him into their murky depths. Out at night, the vampire round. Rose is missing. Will a red moon rise? So ends yet another chapter of our story. A bit of water to reward myself. You have to applaud my persistence in not only reading everything in the game, but even reading it out loud. Isn't that what the game is? These games are more or less novels, so may as well read everything. Yeah, Rean agrees, see? Also, I also respect the people that watch streams or watch YouTube videos or watch anything like that aren't actually watching everything at once. They are, in part, imbibing it while either doing something else, doing work, doing something. So therefore, speaking it out loud is a much better mechanism. Let's begin seeing Trista once more. Yo, you hungry? You don't want to be one of those students to get a heat stroke or whatever right after the midterms, do you? Got some eats to beat the heat? Well, depends. Do you have any good eats? Started listening to that newfangled audible radio recently. It's quite a contraption. It'll even tell you the news. It feels a bit more personal to hear someone discussing the news and reading about in the Imperial Chronicle, which we've still got to read, by the way. Everyone's looking so cheerful now that they've finished their midterms. I think some of these smiles might be turned upside down before long, though. Results day at Thors tends to do that. Yeah, I'm interested. I want these results. I feel like I've done well. I mean, I might have missed some special memorization techniques. Whatever. You're admittedly watching the stream while playing it yourself as well. You're obviously ahead of me, right? What's in the Keen's bookstore? That's a good place to start our search. So how do you feel now the midterms are done with? Don't make the mistake of thinking that you don't have to study now that the exams are over. I recommend going over your answers to see where and how you went wrong when you get your test back. Any new books? Well, the Imperial Chronicle's in. Intermediate Chess is new, so we'll buy that. A teaching primer, a book that explains the best way to teach others. That will maybe get fee relationships. We've already got the manly munchy sandwiches. And Imperial Horsemanship, that's Eustace relationship. I'd imagine. Maccius Eustace fee, that's what I think these are for. Where's my books? Intermediate Chess. I think this book might be a bit too high level for me. I should ask Maccius about this stuff. Small bits of link level. Not even link level 2 of him yet. Teaching primer. Actually, it would be Emma then. This book seems pretty handy. Let's talk about it with Emma sometime. Indeed, if we're going to talk about something, we're not going to talk with it about Fee, will we? That would be used to teach Fee, who seems to like to be taught. Imperial Horsemanship. This book has a lot of good information on horse riding. I should talk about it with Eustace if I get the chance. So close. But yet so far. Well, there's some new stuff. Right, if I've got 3 bonding points, who would I want to talk to here? To be honest, I'm actually I personally, like, 2 of them, I do want to speak to Fee and Laura, because everything kind of is revolving around them currently. Apart from that, like, the 3rd might be Alisa, because, you know, they're the story pertinent people at this moment. Those are the ones I'm thinking about. That's a shame, because I'd like to speak to Eustace too. It's a bit of a shame, that. But they're all the story pertinent people at this point. It's gradually getting warmer now that the rainy season is coming to an end. It's a friendly reminder that summer is fast approaching. As it so happens, we have the latest summer fashions and stocks, so please explore our lineup at your leisure. Do you have any actually new good stuff? No, you really don't. I guess you really are an attachment shop when you think about it. I mean, something like this, the stats plus defense are pretty good. But then you look at the amount of money I have and you go, yes, problems. Problems. There's one thing you need to do every day, it's make food. Which means you need to brave the elements and head out to buy ingredients every day too. Doing so takes courage to be sure. What part of being a housewife doesn't? Yeah, I get that. I wouldn't say buying ingredients is naturally the hard part of it, but being a housewife is a bit of an undertaking, that's for sure. Becky seems disappointed by how she did on the midterms. I tried to help her study, I really did, but she wasn't having it. I suppose she's the type to be completely unaware of the trouble she's in until something bad happens. Oh, poor Becky. Oh no! I didn't do so well on these exams. Maybe I should listen to Hugo and study a wee bit more. Man, I didn't expect them to be this hard. Yeah, great accent. Every Scottish person cringes. I should buy more of that. Let's buy a solid supply. Let's buy some more chilled cheese as well. I probably shouldn't spend much more money. But when I think about it, if we got a cat that wants milk whenever I meet it, and I want to build a relationship with cat as the most important thing in my life. That Becky was a pretty good worker for her age. I like the cut of her jib. I think I'll give her a little bonus. Being able to cheer others up, folks up is always a good thing in my books. That's cool. Well, should we start with our relationship thing? Let's definitely speak to Laura and Fee. Oh, hello, Rean. It's rare to see you here by yourself. What's up? I actually found myself rather interested in the store's wares, so I decided to browse for a while. I'm surprised at how enjoyable it's been. Should I join her in browsing the wares? Why not? Mind if I join you? Feel free. Maybe this would be a good chance to have you tell me more about the things being sold here. Well, I don't know all that much about them myself. Oh, we're not going to find anything out, are we? That's what I want. Mishi. Ah, they have a wide variety of items here on display, most of which I'm unfamiliar with. Which leads to a question I'd like to ask you, Rean. What sort of goods and accessories do girls my age tend to like? What? I ask because, well, I've noticed there's a significant difference between myself and the other girls here. For example, I went shopping with Monica recently, only to find myself searching for equipment to keep my sword in shape. Meanwhile, Monica was fawning over cute accessories and the like. Doesn't this prove that I'm rather strange? No, it doesn't. Well, you're from a different class background, for one thing. That's the difference between you already. But even amongst the other nobles, you are a little bit different. Just as I thought. This is of no issue. If there's something I lack, then all I need to do is take the opportunity to learn. Now tell me, which of the items here would most likely grab a girl's attention? I mean, I'm not exactly an expert on the subject, but obviously the Mishi doll. Rean grabbed a cute mascot plush that was sitting on the shelf. How about this Mishi plush? He's a pretty popular character over in Crossbell. Fascinating. He's certainly charming, to say the least. But how about this? Laura grabs a strap with a blue-haired muscular man attached to it. This Dogi character has a rather gallant look to him, doesn't he? Yes, Dogi does. Watch out, though, if you put him near walls, they'll come down. I'm 100% sure that most girls wouldn't have any interest in him. No, he's ripped! He'd break walls! He's not a very good house husband, though. Your house wouldn't be left after. He'd just accidentally walk out a wall somewhere, but still. Oh, this is more challenging than I'd expected. Just imagine Dogi like, dear, I'm coming! Smash through wall. Rean and Laura ended up looking at an assortment of products appealing to Laura's unique tastes. In the end, though, they ended up purchasing the Mishi plush. I couldn't be more grateful for your assistance, Rean. If it weren't for you, I never would have purchased something so nice. Not a problem. Still, my grasp on what other girls my age like remains tenuous. It seems I have a long and harsh path ahead of me if I'm ever to truly know. You know, you don't have to force yourself to be like everyone else. Because you aren't like everyone else. You are, and that's exactly why we like you. You gave me a lot to think about today. Let me thank you once again. I'd like for us to go shopping again if you ever have the time. Sure, that'd be fun. I want to see the Dogi doll. Why did they not make a Dogi doll asset? Indeed. Honey, I'm home. It would be that. Ooh, link level 3 with Laura? What's that? Cover. Oh, wow, that's cool. So I'm guessing that it will be not just taking damage for someone, but maybe reduce damage? Or will it be like on a death kind of blow damage? This is the thoughts here. Killing blow when you've just got enough that the killing blow will trigger to finish it off. There's questions are there. I spotted a maid I've never seen before clean the streets this morning. I wonder which of the upper class students she serves. The fact that she showed up now rather than at the beginning of the academic year strikes me as rather odd, however. Yes, indeed. Steel Mishi states that it's Mishi in action? Oh. Yes. Mishing in action, yes. Yes. I'm really jealous of how often your class gets to travel. It would be amazing if our club could travel around the Empire taking photos as we went. But given our limited budget, the best we can manage would be a trip to Heimdall. That's the capital, isn't it? And finally, there's the florists and the boutique owners. Alright, I've compiled a list of every single cute girl in Trista. That's what you're interested in, Rex. We'll have to remember your name. There's so many cute girls out there, he wants to take pictures of them all. You can't actually go in the gardening shop at all. Let's go speak to Crow first, then. Thanks, Em. You just want to see my reaction of death at your pun, don't you? Now, how you feeling about your first midterms? Well, I think I passed, at the very least. How about you? Sitting slightly above average, I think. Would have gone better if I could have gotten my hands on a list of the test questions in advance, though. Damn, I should have seen if old man Mitch was good for it. You know, I really doubt you'd have something like that for sale. I don't know. Some pretty cool things end up making their way into the shop sometimes. Old man Mitch, an interesting guy, so I wind up coming here pretty often. You looking for Sarah? She's not going to be back till later. Oh, so you already knew she wasn't interested? Nope. Real convincing there, Mitch. So Mitch knows where she's gone. Still the same things on the list of curios, so I'm guessing I didn't miss another recipe then? If you've got time to stand around staring at me, you've got time to go back to your dorm and study. Don't get complacent just because midterms are over. The next exam's going to blindside you otherwise. I'll take that as under advisement. Alright, nothing else I can really make at this point. And plus I don't have any U material at all. Kind of need to farm for that a little bit. Laura will now die for me, will she? Because we're that friendly now. Let's speak to Fee. Fee and flowers. Why do you like flowers, Fee? What's with the stern look, Fee? Turns out I'll be growing some flowers for the club, but I need to go and get the tools. I see, sounds tough. Kind of rare to see you get the serious about something though. It happens sometimes. Should I give her a hand? Yes. She's no longer in the Jaeger Corps. This is probably her time to actually grow and create something, rather than kill and destroy something. So it's a bit an opposite for her. That's an interesting thought. Would you like me to help you out? Sure. Have fun. Have fun. I'm not doing it for you. I wasn't offering to do it for you, Fee. Ah. Given how many types of plants there are, you've got no shortage of options. Have you got an idea of what you wanted to raise? Yep. Fee took out a small bag filled with seeds and showed it to Rean. Oh, what are these? Flower seeds. Don't know what they're called, though. Someone gave them to me when I was in the corps. Had them ever since. Ah, do you know how to raise them, then? Yep, they told me how. They were kind of joking about raising them with love. I don't know if that was a joke. My mum says the same thing about the plants she grows in our kitchen. So does Edel. I don't know much about love, though. Then maybe this is the right time for you to try and raise them. But man, your corpse sounds so different from the image I've always had in my head. How so? The way you tell it, you sound like one big family in a sense. I always thought Jaegers were, well, a bit more violent and bloodthirsty, I guess. Yeah, I was just being a little narrow-minded, though. Can't blame you. Everyone's more concerned about the negative reputation Jaegers have than anything else. There are some people who can't even accept their existence. What do you mean? Nothing. Let's hurry up and buy the tools and fertilizer. Good idea. I've never seen those seeds before, so let's ask James some advice on the best way to raise them. Rean and Fee bought the tools and fertilizers they needed, after which they made their way back to the Academy's flower bed to plant the seeds. It'll take a little while though. That should do it. They should bloom in a few months if I raise them right. Hope they grow up big and strong. Me too. Oh, also, thanks for the help. Anytime. And so your bond with Fee strengthened to link level 3 as well. Oh, counterattack? Wait, what? So the link level 3 actually turns out for different people who have different skills. Counterattack's kind of cool. So I got a choice of reduction of damage by linking with Laura by the look of it. And I got a choice of doing even more damage if I link with Fee. Kind of cool. And it'd be cool if the counterattack as well could maybe cause an unbalance. That's actually warped me all the way over here. They should bloom in a few months for raising, right? Yeah, if I can though. You'll do fine, trust me. I suppose. I can't help but love pranking Lynn. She's just so easy. I really can't think of a better toy. Friend than a twin sister. Yeah, toy is really what you meant. There's no need to worry about test results. We don't rank these flowers while we raise them, right? The most important thing is to grow up strong and healthy. There's more to life than test results. Sometimes I wonder if Lake Lord's here for other reasons. That said, we should be able to fish again. Oh, we can't? That's it, I'm going to use ground bait. There's a reason behind this. Not the beginner rod. Change rod. Change rod. Because we're about the right level to get that other attachment, so I may as well just buy it. I'm just getting a couple more cool ones, right? Deluxe rod, thank you. I punctuate the start of my study with fishing and the end of my study with fishing. These things seem to give a fair bit of points, though.
What even is this?
What even is this? Well, it's giving me 30 fire sepith, so I'm quite fine with that. It's all about the sepith. The sepith and the points and the grey crabs. Give me some mirage or whatever it is you give. Oh no, you give me just shells. You're rubbish. Right then, let's trade for a carp badge. Defense plus 20, accuracy up lots, HP up 2. That's fine. I won't equip to anyone yet. I just want it. Just to say I bought one of them. We have a carp badge now. Hey, Lake Lord. You worried about your exam results? Look, don't sweat stuff like that when you're out fishing. Your mind's not at peace when you step your line. There's no point in even being out here. Probably. Right, let us zoop back. Because we actually hadn't finished out checking out town. We'd been in all those shops, but technically I hadn't been in the weird little residence. You never know when we might get an event. Just randomly running around after all. I'll try to be as thorough as possible with the game. Kurt loves his sweets. His favourites are berry tarts, so he's always asking me to make some. How about you try to hand make him one sometime? Like that. Berry tart, thank you. I always try to be thorough. Harrison's at work and Kurt's off to Sunday school. I do hope they both have good days today. When they get back, I'll have a delicious meal waiting for them. Thank you for the berry tart, my lady. Gotta be thorough, right? Sprint time! Wrong sprint. Right sprint. I guess the new girls finished planting the seeds then. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll bloom into some pretty flowers. Flowers will always respond to those who take good care of them after all. I haven't ever tried planting anything yet. Weeding, sure. Planting, not so much. Right, where am I looking now? We really do owe Klein. He's a very good teacher, so Emil's always happy to have him visit. He's always there to listen to Emil's worries and give him advice too. We've been lost about him. Hey, give me that mission again. I will tutor this kid because you gave me loads of cash. Please. Klein will be here to tutor me today. Sunday school's far too easy for me to waste my time with, so I need a tutor to keep me mentally stimulated. Though because I don't attend, all I have to do most days is sit in my room and study. I do wonder. I'm guessing you're planning to go straight to the school next door, after all. Any other people just hanging around? You didn't teach me anything, sister. Sunday school is currently in session. Even the mischievous children seem to be studying hard at the moment. I hope that I'm able to get along with them all soon enough. Maybe I need to give these guys a lecture now. About what a student has to do, even though they're students too. The conflict between the noble and reformist factions continues to pervade every aspect of our country, and now rumors are spreading that they plan to take up arms against one another. What a sad state of affairs. I can only hope that our children would suffer because of this. I was about to say, were they adults? No, they are kids. Sunday school's in session today. Is there any joy greater than passing wisdom from one generation to the next? Well now, it's time for another fun day of learning. So it seems like the school system in Erebonia seems to be that you don't actually go to like an actual school or academy until you're older. But you teach via the church on just one day a week by the look of it. It's kind of cool. I get to hear a story about the goddess Adios today. I love hearing stories about Adios. Oh. I know, the answer's 6. I think the fish Kenny gave me made me smarter. Okay. I forgot what Sis asked me to get for dinner. Guess I'll go ask her after Sunday school's over. Looks like I'm not gonna have time to hang out with Kay today. Just seeing a book makes me want to hurl. Looks like Emil ain't showing up today either. What a jerk. Just because he's a bit smarter than the rest of us, he thinks he's too cool for Sunday school. I'd still send him to Sunday school because it's about friendship too. It's the problem of like being in your own kind of situation away from something. You still have to like have a kid socialize. Can you please be quiet, Kay? You're distracting me. Also, you got the very first question wrong. How can it be so hard for you to understand basic stuff like this? Shut up! Okay. I don't know why, but I really want to have an Olis stream where Olis does nothing else but fish. Though the fishing game minigame would have to be more involved. Final Fantasy 15s. That's a pretty good fishing game. There's no reason to head past here. What? I want to check out people. I want to check out the rooms. I'm so busy with their clubs these days. That's perfect. I want everyone to make the most of their youth. Laughter, tears, nerves, romance. It's all potential material to me. I'm sure it is. Phew, finally done. I can head out for the day. Heimdall's only 30 minutes away by train, so maybe I'll hang out there for a while. The capsule's that close. I don't know why we're not just taking trips to places. Oh, Kitty! Wait, did she get a name now? Did she have a name before? Did I not notice it? Her name's Celine? There you go, with some fresh milk. Yeah! Who named her? How did I find out her name? She seems so happy. Maybe I'll bring her some more another time. Kitty, sleeping kitty. I'm guessing I still can't go in here. Actually, have I ever tried? Oh, it's that recipe book you have there. You must have one dedicated chef, or must be one dedicated chef to walk around with something like that. I wish I had that kind of focus. Don't know if I'm that dedicated, but it seems like you're a little down about cooking in general. What's wrong? Well, the students of this dorm have rather extravagant palates. Meanwhile, I'm only capable of making what they deem commoner food, which they quickly tired of. I fear for my continued employment if I'm unable to improve my cooking skills and make food that fits their tastes. Being a maid sounds like hard work. Is there any way I can help you? What about this? Could you bring me along some unique dishes? Unique? What now? A dish made by someone so skilled that it becomes a true standout. Truly unique. A shining testament to cooking as an art. Bearing witness to such incredible dishes may be an effective way to learn more about cooking as a whole. I'm well aware of how shameless and massive this request is, so if you wish to decline, that's fine too. Don't worry about it. I'd love to help you out. I'll be sure to bring you any unique dishes I come across. Thank you very much. You're a true gentleman. Right, we have a few. Oh, so now we've got one for the unique dishes of the bad variety and one for the brilliant dishes. We have 3 currently. Well, I had no idea such a dish-fitting food existed. Thank you very much. This should be great help. So I'm guessing I gotta get 5 to get a reward from you as well. Here's a victory sandwich. And apart from that, deluxe hook chowder. Definitely 5. Oh, I can go in. Oh, I shouldn't go past you without a proper reason. Invasion? Duh. Can't I just go? So now we've got someone else to bring food to in between everything. That's not too bad. Obviously, I had not explored up there enough and missed that repeatedly because that's probably something that I could have done much earlier, or at least engaged with much earlier. So we've got one more bonding point. We still haven't done any of these quests yet. The auditorium is still closed. So, what was quest number 1? Because I've completely forgotten at this point. Chapter 3, The Secret Admirer. Let's do you first. Get you out of the way because you're not one of the thing ones. Short. We need to visit behind the storage building, Vincent Floral, Year 2, Class 1. If I press this now, we should see it as behind the storage building is around there. Find by me. Tip number 2, super speed! Could have warped. Why are you hiding away so much? Excuse me, is your name Vincent by any chance? Indeed it is. Standing before you is a nobleman, overflowing with love and pathos. The one and only Vincent Floral. I presume that you were the Cupid that I asked the student council to send me? He's quite the character. He really seems to like himself, but that's what I've grown to expect from Class 1. I'm no Cupid, but I'm here on behalf of the student council, yes. Haha! Then you may still well serve my purposes. Allow me to congratulate you on making your way here. So, based on your request and my new nickname, I assume you want me to find someone for you? Yes, something along those lines. Do you have some time to spare? If so, I shall begin explaining the particulars of my request. Let's hear it. I'm afraid I'm busy. Please elaborate on your request. Haha, fine answer indeed. Although before we continue... Phew, Sulifa is currently nowhere to be seen. Now that I think about it, this is kind of an unusual meeting place. Are you going to keep this request quiet? Not exactly. I was merely hoping to avoid things getting meddled in. My father sent Sulifa to the academy to keep an eye on me. As you can imagine, her watchfulness can occasionally be rather constraining. Huh. Well, that's apart from the meat of the matter. To be blunt, I have received not 1, not 2, but 3 passionate love letters of late, and all from a single writer. Curiously, however, the writer in question signs with naught but a nom de plume. What I would request of you, my fine fellow, is to find out just which lovely lady is responsible for these. That's reasonable, but are you sure it's appropriate for me to try to find her? These are anonymous, after all. Do take a moment to think it over. The fact that she chose to use a pen name rather than remaining completely anonymous is proof of a pining, hopeful heart. In fact, I'm absolutely certain that she wishes for me to find her. I suppose I'll have to trust your judgment on this one. What's more, she sent cookies along with her 3rd letter. Would hardly be worthy of the flawed name if I did not properly thank her, would I? Yeah, I don't think I could stop you at this point if I tried. Do you have any additional information that would help me pinpoint exactly who we're looking for? I do indeed. The first hint is that she is a first year. As a man well versed in the feelings of a beautiful woman, I was able to deduce this from the respectful tone of her letters. Additionally, the fact that she attached a pressed grand rose at the end of each letter may serve as a hint as well. A grand rose. If I remember correctly, those are the flowers you use when confessing your love to someone, right? Haha, quite. Which brings us to why this is a hint. The only way to obtain a grand rose in Trista is to purchase it from the town florist. So if we ask the florist who's purchased one, precisely, we'll be able to discover just which shy maiden has sent these letters to me. Would you take on this task for me then? As long as you don't mind me sticking to the plan we just discussed, I don't see why not. I'm truly indebted to you. Based on her pseudonym and her use of a grand rose, I can only imagine Our Lady is the very model of grace. Now you mention it, what was the name she used? Oh, it seems I neglected to mention that very important detail. She calls herself the Grand Maiden, a nickname taken from the daughter of a baron who married into the imperial family long ago. The emperor at the time was so smitten that he gave her countless numbers of grand roses, and so came the moniker. I see. Can't say I've heard that story before, but it is interesting. But this is no time to stand around thinking about it. I'll head over to the flower shop right away. Very well, I leave this matter in your clearly capable hands. The secret admirer has started. I think we've all got a bet on who it may be. I shall leave the investigation in your capable hands. I look forward to the good word. Should we head straight there? Well, let's talk to the people in this location first, like Eustace. Phew. Well, your clothes are covered with dirt. You're even more into this than I realised. It's just dirt, hardly an issue. It takes a good deal of effort to care for horses. I suppose any natural end up like this. Well, I suppose you're right. I kind of do want to speak to you a bit more, Eustace. Do I bond with Eustace or do I bond with Alisa? I won't just yet. I want to find out what Alisa's about, because he's probably going to talk about the horses and his youth with the horses. Nothing is quite as refreshing as going for a post-exam ride. Come, Whitcomb! Today we ride for the sake of freedom! Is it just me, or is Eustace Albalea actually taking this club seriously? It might just be my imagination. It's like he's turned a new leaf, isn't it? How's the lacrosse club doing? Did they actually ever do any... Oh. That's actually really interesting that Alisa isn't here. I refuse to accept any blame for this. It's all Alisa's fault for bringing a maid into her dorm. She can't do that. She's a commoner after all. I didn't step a single toe out of line. What? There's nothing wrong with getting into arguments every now and then. In fact, Emily and I argued all the time as first years. If there's one good thing about fights, it's that they're honest. Honesty is the only way you can truly bond with someone. What? Lisa and Ferris got into a big argument earlier. And here I thought I could get a friendly post-midterm match going. So much for that, I guess. See, that makes me want to bond with Alisa more now. Damn it. Intrigue. You might tell me about this certain argument that's taken place, you know? I should have fast travel walked, but still. It's a lot faster than running after all. Right, we need to speak to you. Excuse me, would you mind if I asked you a question? Not at all, go ahead. So Rean explained the situation to Jane and asked about any first years who had recently purchased any grand roses. It wouldn't be hard to find out if I looked at my records, but I'm not exactly sure I should disclose that information. Understandably so. I don't intend to do anything with this information they don't want me to, though. If they ask me to keep their identity a secret, that's what I'll do. I see. Well, if that's the case, I guess I can help you out. Just remember, though, it's your job to give the mystery sender your support and nothing more. I wish you the best of luck. This request's getting pretty complicated at this point. Right, I count 3 first years who've made a Grand Rose purchase recently. In class order, first is Beryl from class 3. Then there's Vivi from class 4 and Rosine from class 5. What? I see. Thank you very much for the help. I actually mentioned Vivi has me worried, yes. I bet the person that everyone was thinking of wasn't on the list. I hope she's not trying the same trick on someone else right now. Not at all. Good luck. Could be. Vivi loves pranking. She probably sent it on behalf of her sister, right? Except one of the people is you! Excuse me, you're Rosine from class 5, aren't you? That's correct. Why do you ask? I have a quick kind of personal question for you. Rean explained the situation to Rosine and asked if it was her who sent the letters to Vincent. Oh no, that certainly wasn't me. I did buy a Grand Rose, but it was for the purpose of decorating the church. Oh, I see. Sorry to ask such an embarrassing question then. It's fine. It's gonna be the prank. Oh no. It's gonna be a disaster. Well, it's the main building we're gonna need to go to most likely then. Shall I pop to the courtyard first? That way I can speak to Fee on the other side, even though I have spoke to Fee, and that's where Vivi exactly is. What's up, Rean? Were you so taken with my feminine charms you can stand another moment away from me? And there's something I'd like to ask you. Rean explained the situation to Vivi and asked if she was the one who sent Vincent the letters. Right now, that is pretty interesting. I'm gonna take that as a no. Yeah, I wish it was me, but I'm having too much fun teasing Lynn to set my sights on any boys right now. Of course you are. Did buy a Grand Rose though. Don't tell me you tricked another poor unsuspecting soul into helping you torment her. Pretty much. But can you blame me? She falls for it every single time. I can't help myself. You're a monster. Poor Lynn. I can't imagine what she has to deal with a sister like this. Okay, so we found out it's not either of those two. So who was the last one on the list? I can't remember at this point. Rosine, Beryl from class 3. Where is Beryl? I don't actually know what Beryl looks like. So we're just going to have to hope that she appears on the map. What does Beryl look like? Someone in the storeroom? Someone's in the storage room. I'm guessing it's Jan Itor. Some students have already started their club practice for the day. It's nice to see youngins these days are so full of energy. Well, if everyone's going to be using the equipment, I better go and get going on some maintenance. Yes, you had. Alright, so let us... Well, part of our mission is to talk to anyone anyway. Everyone, even. Sunday school's in session at the church today. I hope that Rudy's paying attention. I find myself worrying about him from time to time. He tends to get carried away with everything he does. I think he's paying attention. I think he was just a bit frazzled, wasn't he? Someone's resting over here again. or ill. One of the two. So, you then? So much food, so much pain. I was so happy the exams were over that I want to eat a ton of food to celebrate. Yeah. Everyone looks as though they've had a large weight lifted off them now that exams have drawn to a close. But as is often the case, that feeling of relief can lead to foolish behavior and even accidents. The last thing anybody wants to spend is their 3 days stuck in bed with some sort of terrible injury. It's not a terrible injury. He's had too many Easter eggs, obviously. That's what's gone on. Tell me how I did on the exam already. Only 2 first years managed to answer every question correctly. Wait a second, that's probably Eusis and... No, it's probably Macias and Emma. I can't get my hopes up, but Emma was a bit ooh about it. 2 got all questions. Will I be one of them? Do I expect too much of my students? Maybe I made my questions a bit too hard. No kidding, the last question was especially ridiculous. I'll have to study harder next time. Oh, maybe it wasn't me then. I see in your face traces of both exhaustion and relief. That's exactly how it should be. Examinations are a chance for you to push yourselves to your limits. Take the results to heart. If you're dissatisfied, you must simply increase the effort you're putting in. Speaking of dissatisfaction, I haven't seen your instructor around anywhere. She's exams of her own to grade. She's combat hired. Can't even be bothered with grading these. I could write a program to do it for me and save some hassle. It won't take too long if I start with the code from the image recognition program I wrote a while back. No good can come of this. This is how the computers take over. One lazy teacher with the skill. The power. Hello, Kratos. I've been informed that you'll be investigating the old schoolhouse today. Be sure to make use of what I taught you in class. Prepare for every eventuality and proceed with caution, understood? We're not going there just yet, though. I received a report of odd noises coming from the old schoolhouse. Based on what we learned last month, it's highly likely that the building structure's changed yet again. Please take care during your investigation. There's simply no telling what may happen. No books yet. No Red Moon Rose Chapter 6. Wait, we're in the conference room? How are we in the conference room? The student council's work is split up pretty evenly between us. And that just means that we're all busy all the time, so it's tough for us to have everyone attend one meeting. A student council meeting, eh? Time for our meeting draws near. It is my duty as an upper class student to carry the academy upon my back. Sure. You do that. Nice work today, Rean. Are you looking forward to the midterm results announcement as much as I am? Sounds strange to say it, but I am. You're looking pretty busy for someone who just finished the midterms, though. You bet. Now that the year's halfway through, we've got a lot to discuss. So much, in fact, that we even reserved this room just to discuss it. There's the Academy Festival. Someone wants to use the swimming pool next month. There's about any other events. I guess it isn't easy being a student council member. I think you're the last person in the world who'd actually take this advice, but try not to overwork yourself. I guess I'll consider it. Thanks, Rean. It's just as busy ever. Maybe there's something I can do to help. No, we're not going to use a bonding point this time. Not yet. So first thing on our agenda is the pool, and then after that, we're just about to hold a meeting. Why aren't we using the student council room, you ask? Well, we use this room for the more important meetings, wise guy.